This has got to be one of the most terrifying headlines I have seen out of the Trump administration, and with the last 100 days, that is saying a lot. Stephen Miller looks like he's leading the pack to be the next national security advisor. And if you do not know who Stephen Miller is, he is the reason that we have this brainchild of immigration policy that is the Trump administration. Take a listen to him just 2 days ago.
Let's just take a moment, number one, to express our gratitude to El Salvador for agreeing to take some of the most dangerous terrorists off of America's streets and to put them into a safe environment where they cannot continue to engage in acts of terrorism or coordination with the Maduro regime.
Stephen Miller has a history of supporting white supremacy ideology. He has encouraged alt-right and far-right publications like Breitbart to post white supremacy rhetoric. And his immigration policy is one of the harshest we have ever seen. We are going to continue to see this level of cruelty in immigration policy if Stephen Miller takes on the National Security Advisory role.
What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm called Irene Soita. If you're new on this channel, hit the subscription button, put on the notification button to be notified whenever I post a video. So onto this video, let us get into it. We are going to be talking about Stephen Miller. Everybody is talking about Stephen Miller, guys. Are you ready? So watch these videos and let me know what you think about Stephen Miller. Guys, it has hit me so hard. I thought that we were getting to the end of it, but it has just started. It has just started. We are going to unmask all of them. Yes, all of them. Everybody. We are masking all of them.
This message goes to all the maggots, all these fucking Trump supporters. Do you know who Stephen Miller is? I'm going to tell you a little bit. Son of an immigrant, son of a Jewish immigrant, yet he's racist, misogynist, classist, fucking scumbag and cuck of a human fucking being. He's the one responsible for bankrolling everything Donald Trump is doing. In fact, the signal message, you remember those? I think fucking not. This motherfucking bitch is out here approving these attacks on Yemen, approving these attacks overseas. No word from Trump. He says the president says yes. He said the president says, bitch, he doesn't even talk to the president. He's your fucking president, a motherfucking billionaire, and the guy that you really should be fucking mad at, except you want to suck his fucking smegma out his dick. You bitch-ass motherfucker. Fuck you, fuck these Trump supporters, and fuck these maggots, bitch.
Driving forward. You think they're just going to give us our country back? You think they're just going to roll over, move out of the way, stop their scheming and their lying? Or do you think we are going to have to be on top of it every single day, focused every single day, driving forward every single day with unrelenting focus and passion? Because God gave us this country. Our founding fathers fought and died for this country. Generations of Americans have sacrificed and bled for this country, and we are not going to let the radical left, the communists, and the America haters take our country. It's not going to happen. Not now, not ever. But it's going to take everyone in this room to stand with President Trump each and every day, to stand by his side every single day as President Trump boldly and bravely leads us into this golden age. And if you do that, I promise you, if you support this president and his leadership vision and his command and his inspiration, I promise you that if we follow President Trump, then this is what our future will look like. The best economy in history, the strongest border in history, the proudest and most patriotic children in history, and the single greatest future in history. And we will prove worthy of this moment. We will prove worthy of this period. We will prove worthy of this opportunity given to us by Almighty God. And I swear to you, and I promise you, and I pledge to you, it will all be worth it. And our children will grow up in a world where they can say, America is stronger, more incredible, more courageous, more united, more devoted, more committed, more incredible, more exceptional, prouder, and more amazing than it has ever been before with the leadership and the vision and the drive of our President Donald J. Trump. So I ask you all to send a message right now to all the bureaucrats, to all the radical left commies, to the criminal aliens, the foreign gangs, the transnational terrorists, to everyone who threatens the future of this country. Do you stand with President Trump? Do you support President Trump? Do you believe in President Trump? And do you believe in the future of America? Thank you. God bless you, and God bless the United States. I love you.
So Stephen Miller only wants white people in America. Are we shocked? The crazy part is everybody knew this man was a white Christian nationalist, and you let him in. He's even more far right and more far white than Donald Trump. Trump even recognized his obsession when it came to immigrants. Stephen Miller said if it was up to him, only 100 million people would be in the country. That is only white people. White people only. Yeah, Project 2025 is looking real fucking real now, ain't it? I wonder who's really running the White House now. Because Trump said that he wasn't going to fuck with farms and hotel workers. But he's in that ass now. And I don't think it was him. For once, I didn't even think it was him. For all you non-white people that voted for Trump, how do you feel now that they're trying to ethnically cleanse us out of the fucking United States? I mean, it's going to be real hard to get rid of black folks because, you know, African Americans in particular, because we ain't got nowhere to go but here. But for everybody else, how the fuck do y'all feel now?
Good question. Good question there. These MAGA supporters, these people were told, now see the Project 2025. It's really working for you. Good question. Now, who is running the White House? Who is controlling Trump? See, who is controlling Trump? He's a Jewish. Yeah, he's an immigrant. As you've been told, he's a son of a Jew. He's a son of an immigrant. But what is he doing with immigrants in the United States? What does he has? What kind of obsession does he have with immigrants, sending away all the immigrants from the United States of America? How do you feel, MAGA supporters who voted for Trump? How do you feel now? Are you clapping for yourself? Are you applauding yourself? Are you acknowledging the fact that you have messed America? You have to, because right now, everything that is happening in America is not Trump's fault. He has had his head being rammed, you know. He is being told what to do, what's supposed to do, approving this and that. Guys, MAGA supporters, how do you feel right now?
So Stephen Miller only wants white people in America. Are we shocked? The crazy part is everybody knew this man was a white Christian nationalist, and you let him in. He's even more far right and more far white than Donald Trump. Trump even recognized his obsession when it came to immigrants. Stephen Miller said if it was up to him, only 100 million people would be in the country. That is only white people. White people only. Yeah, Project 2025 is looking real fucking real now, ain't it? I wonder who's really running the White House now. Because Trump said that he wasn't going to fuck with farms and hotel workers. But he's in that ass now. And I don't think it was him. For once, I didn't even think it was him. For all you non-white people that voted for Trump, how do you feel now that they're trying to ethnically cleanse us out of the fucking United States? I mean, it's going to be real hard to get rid of black folks because, you know, African Americans in particular, because we ain't got nowhere to go but here. But for everybody else, how the fuck do y'all feel now?
Look, anyone who didn't know before, you know now. Stephen Miller is a dangerous, unhinged man who is dictating most of the policy in this country right now. The Wall Street Journal just did a report today that says Trump in private has said that if it was up to Stephen Miller, there would only be 100 million Americans in this country.
Apps at reporters and then breaks down and shows them that they know absolutely nothing about what they're talking about. Y'all, make sure you like the video right here and check this one out.
Is the president going to ask for him to be returned to the United States or not? Like, yes or no?
So first of all, it's not a question for me to answer, but I think that the assumption that underlies the question is what needs to be corrected, which is that there was no mistake that was made. He was said, like, so what? Let me ask you, so what do you think would happen to him if he came back to this country? As your understanding of immigration laws, what do you think would happen?
But I'm just asking.
No, it's important to know. You're asking a lot of questions.
The president.
You are all asking a lot of questions about this, and you all seem to care about it a lot. So let's see if any of you have researched anything about this issue at all. Can anyone here tell me what would happen to the illegal alien from El Salvador if he came back to the United States? Does anyone here know? Does anyone want to guess? Any of you?
He could be with his family.
Does any of you know the answer to the question? Legally, what would happen if he came back here? Does any of you know? Any of you?
Do you really believe
been
the Supreme Court?
I'm talking now.
Do you really believe the Supreme Court?
You need to stop. I'm talking now.
Doesn't think you
Does
should be
any of
with
you-
Why was it unanimous?
You're done. Does any of you know the answer to the question? Does any of you? You've been talking about it for days.
Would deport him again, no?
He would be arrested.
Okay.
He'd be put in confinement. He would be deported the second time to El Salvador again because there's no withholding order for an alien who's a member of foreign. Number one. Number two is the member of doesn't exist in El Salvador anymore. So what you're asking for is to be deported twice. But additionally, if we chose to just pretend that the withholding order was real, he would be deported to a different country. So, for example, he could be deported to Egypt. So I'm just trying to understand, is it your view, in other words, you have to find a country that would be willing to take from El Salvador. So I'm trying to understand from you all is, so if he came back and under our laws, he was then deported to Egypt or to Somalia, would you then be saying, great, I'm so glad that you deported him to another country? Is that what you'd all be saying? Do you understand our immigration laws at all? But the premise of your question, the gentlemen, the return, guys, do you know the difference between a deportation order and a withholding order? Do you know the difference? Any of you, please. Do you?
I'm gonna go with no.
Well, we're not in the government.
You couldn't even spend 72 hours over the weekend learning the distinction, even though you've been writing and talking about it this whole time. Just raise your hand. Does any of you know the difference between a deportation order?
We have some big news right now. According to the Wall Street Journal, Donald Trump previously said that if it was up to Stephen Miller, his White House Deputy Chief of Staff, there would only be 100 million people in the United States of America, and they would all look like Miller. Miller is a white guy. In this new explosive report from the Wall Street Journal, it cites a number of White House colleagues of Miller's who are becoming increasingly alarmed at the legal maneuvers he is taking to conduct mass deportation efforts. And Donald Trump himself, according to the Journal, has even ribbed Miller for being, quote, too happy when deporting undocumented migrants from America. But I want you to read this passage with me. He has the president's complete trust. Trump's complained about everyone, never him. Trump may not complain about Mr. Miller, but he does occasionally poke at his obsession with immigrants, a hostility that goes far beyond Mr. Trump's. In one meeting during the 2024 campaign, Trump said that if it was up to Miller, there would be only 100 million people in this country and they would all look like Miller. This is the man Trump is putting in responsible for most of the policy in America. Spread the word so more people are aware. I'll do a full breakdown on my Substack, linked in bio, so subscribe for free and follow along for more. We have some big news right now. According to the Migrant Insider and Pablo Manriquez, Stephen Miller, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff leading these deportation efforts, has a financial stake in Palantir, one of the contractors used by ICE. This is raising significant conflict of interest concerns right now. According to Manriquez, Miller, who serves as Donald Trump's Deputy Chief of Staff, disclosed owning between $100,000 and $250,000 worth of Palantir stock as of mid-March. Palantir provides, quote, mission-critical data services for ICE. And to put this into perspective, Palantir was the company that was tasked with creating, remember that nationwide database of information on Americans? Yeah, that was this company. Now, the White House has defended Miller's disclosures and said that he will continue to, quote, recuse himself from decisions that could directly impact his personal investments. But he is actively leading the charge in this deportation effort. And if Palantir's work is mission critical, then that right there could be a conflict of interest. Spread the word. I'll do a full breakdown on my Substack, linked in bio, so subscribe for free. And as always, follow along for all the news you need to know about.
piece you wrote, you described your nephew, Stephen Miller, as an immigration hypocrite. What do you mean by that?
It's an important question, and I have to preface my response by saying that I wrote this article more in sadness than in anger or resentment. Our family history is entirely dependent upon the fact that our family was able to escape from a terrible situation in what is now the country of Belarus. In those days, was part of the Russian Empire.
Your family first came here, I think, in the early 1900s.
The first of our particular group came over in 1903. They worked for a while peddling fruit and doing sweatshop work, and then they were able to round up enough money to bring over the rest of the immediate family. Everybody else who didn't make it, they were all swept away in the Holocaust and dead.
And so you're saying the hypocrisy
had, well, let's put it simply, had we not been able to enter America when we did, Stephen Miller would never exist.
And so this notion of chain migration, which is something the administration calls the opportunity for somebody who's come to the United States to apply to get their parents to come, their cousins, brothers or sisters to come, that has been part of your family history, of Stephen Miller's family history.
That is the classic story of virtually everybody in America who isn't a Native American or who was brought over unwillingly as a slave. That's everybody's story.
You referred to your nephew Stephen as an immigration hypocrite. Do you see this administration itself as hypocritical? The First Lady, her parents just got citizenship based on what the administration would call chain migration.
Well, let's think of it for a second. As far as I understand, Mr. Trump's grandfather came over, or either his father or his grandfather came over as an immigrant from Germany, trying to avoid draft into the German army. He's trying to find a new life here in the United States. His mother, I think, escaped the poverty of Scotland, looking for a better opportunity in New York City. And he is married as what's the count now? 3 immigrant women in the United States, and has just through chain migration, her parents have been made citizens of the United States, and I welcome them.
It's obviously always difficult to talk about race, and I always hesitate to even to bring it up in these circumstances. But the president has, there's been reporting that he's talked about immigrants coming from what he called shithole countries, talked about people from Haiti having AIDS, about people in Nigeria not wanting to go back to their huts, as if everybody in Nigeria lives in huts. I talked about people, why shouldn't more people from Norway come? Do you see a racial component in this administration, how they view this issue?
All those epithets are the sorts of things which were said about Jews, Irish, Poles, Hungarians, and virtually Italians, Sicilians, Sardinians, everybody from Southern Europe, Eastern Europe, from the Balkan countries, were all condemned and vilified by the so-called America Firsters of their day. These people were described frequently as slime pumped out of the mud tanks of Europe, rapists, murderers, thieves, gangsters. And thankfully, the United States has made progress, as fitful as it may be, in reforming immigration laws so that we no longer had these racial quotas. It is hard to escape the conclusion, based on the administration's actions and policies rather than their rhetoric, it's hard to escape the conclusion that they want to disadvantage people coming from countries based on their religion, based on their ethnicity, and based on their countries and regions of origin.
Did it surprise you that Stephen was involved in this? That many see him as a leading voice in this in the administration.
Sadly, it's no surprise. It appears that much of his professional identity and his personal identity has been wrapped up in this particular issue, though I do not know why.
You ever wonder what happens when a high school troll grows up and gets access to federal power? You get Stephen Miller. And this man didn't just whisper in Trump's ear. He wrote the whole damn playbook. Stephen Miller isn't just some advisor. He's the author behind Trump's most cruel, racist, and authoritarian politics. And he did it quietly, in a suit, all while pretending that it was about national security. You remember the Muslim ban? That was Miller. Family separation at the border? That was Miller. Trying to strip citizenship from immigrants legally living here? Yep, Miller. He's the reason zero tolerance became a government slogan. The man crafted policy like it was fan fiction for fascists. And you want to talk about connections? Stephen Miller was mentored by Richard Spencer, the actual white nationalist who coined the term alt-right. They went to Duke together, and Miller invited him to campus. Now let that sink in. The dude writing U.S. immigration policy was once boosted by a literal neo-Nazi. And don't think he disappeared when Trump left the first time. He started a legal group called America First Legal, designed to sue the government every single time it tried to be decent. Trying to stop DEI programs? That's Miller. Attacking asylum protections? That's Miller. Lawsuits to block civil rights policies under the radar? Also Miller. And the scariest part is that he's not a loudmouth. He's a strategist. He's not tweeting insults. He's writing executive orders. He learned that power isn't about being liked. It's about embedding your ideology so deep within the system that even after you're gone, your fingerprints stay on the walls. Stephen Miller doesn't just advise Trump. He built a machine, one fueled by fear, whiteness, and legal loopholes. And it's still running, it's just a little quieter now. So we all know the bigotry has definitely resurfaced. We can see that in the court dockets, the school bans, and the borders. Stephen Miller never left. He just sharpened his horns and put on a nicer tie.
Oh God. It gets emotional sometimes when you find out certain things, that we become very ignorant when human beings are involved, the lives of people are involved, the lives of even little kids are involved. So guys, people are talking about Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller, a White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy and Homeland Security advisor. So when the president is elected, he will always select these people like Miller and Elon Musk. You understand? So guys, Stephen Miller, it's really now evident that Stephen Miller is not a white American. He's a Jewish immigrant. He's a son of an immigrant who was tutored, and he got himself paved way to the federal role. He's up there, but he has forgotten where he came from. Like, now he's an immigrant who's treating immigrant as strangers. He's the one, like, we are even told that Trump privately say, like, Stephen Miller gets excited when they talk of immigration, legal immigrant. Like, where? Who does that, guys? And it has come to our knowledge that Stephen Miller owns a stock in the ICE contractor Palantry, a company powering deportations. You understand? And this is a gone racist. Like, Stephen Miller is a gone racist. So Stephen Miller is financially benefiting from rounding up immigrants, who is the political advisor to Trump, serving since 2025. And he's the senior advisor. He's a Jewish immigrant. He has forgotten where he came from. And now he's saying that America would have only 1 million people. 1 million people, that is only white Americans. He doesn't care where the Jews will be. He's fellow Jewish, which means of which the Jews are still there in America. He doesn't care. When we talk about the Muslim ban, this Muslim ban was brought about by Stephen Miller. When we talk about this issue that we've been seeing, family separation at the border, that was brought by Miller. And he was the one who orchestrated the blockaging or blocking the mental health care that was supposed to be given to the kids at the border who had been left by the parents. He blocked it. How evil is this person? This man is very evil. Guys, this man is very evil. So I don't think, for the MAGA supporters, how do you feel? Like, we have been here all castigating Elon Musk, knowing that Elon Musk is the one who has been orchestrating all these policies. And my question goes to the MAGA supporters, to the Latinos who voted for Trump. You voted for Trump. You never went through the Project 2025. You voted for the Trump, and now the Project 2025 is working, and now the person who's behind the Project 2025 is Stephen Miller. How are you feeling if he manages to we have seen even those immigrants who have legal papers, the Latino immigrants, the Cuban immigrants who had legal papers, they've been, when you are caught by the ICE, they don't tolerate you, they don't ask you questions, they don't want to know if you have documents or not, you are leaving. It's because Stephen Miller is behind there. He's doing business. Guys, he's doing business, so you have to go. You are not an American, you have to go. What is he going to do to Black Americans? You know, you have heard her saying, like, Black Americans, we don't Black African American, we don't have anywhere to go. Where are we gonna go? Black Americans, they came out and say proudly, confidently, boldly, they're not immigrants. You understand? In fact, Black Americans have made America to be where it is. If it was not for our great grandparents, the slavery, the people who fought for the America to be where it is the Black Americans. You understand? So when you're coming out here and trying to, now everyone, you have to go jaldi, you want to everyone to go because you're doing business. You're doing business with human beings. How inhuman you are. You cannot even consider kids. Like, serious? Oh my God. This dude made us believe that Elon Musk was the enemy. And he got Elon Musk, the business of Elon Musk, the boycott, like, serious. All these policies are orchestrated by Miller. All these markets, the markets are being affected. American people are crying. It's because of Miller. When he's talking about the war that is happening, even when America hit Iran, when there's war between America getting into war with Yemen, he's the one orchestrating it. He is there. He wants America to collapse. He's not doing this at the best interest of America. He's doing this because he wants to see America. He's revenging in one way or another. He wants to see America on its knees. When you do research about the Jews who were in Germany before the Second World War, you'll get to know that this man does not have good intentions for America. Yeah, he doesn't have good intention for America. His intentions are not. He has done the market. There's not businesses in America. He's the one who was behind the high tariffs, and now you see the relationship between America and China collapsed. Canada collapsed. Europe, everyone is complaining. So America is going to remain on its own if Trump doesn't make his own mind. If he's going to depend on such people as his legal advisors. And I've seen this happening in Kenya. This man has a very bad reputation. We have seen people coming out, even his uncle tried to talk about it. You know, people, his high school people have come to testify that Stephen Miller is not a good person. So he paved his way to that place. He's sitting up there. He's dining with the likes of Donald Trump, the likes of Elon Musk. But he got a lot of brains, guys. And that's why I'm saying, like, his intentions are not good at all. He doesn't have good intention for America. So guys, if you're new on this channel, kindly keep on subscribing to it. Put on the notification button. Let me know what you think down there below in the comment section. It's your girl Iron Soita. Bye bye.